Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is David Palmieri. I'm the Vice President of Marketing with CGS Oris Americas, and I'm here in partnership today with Antalis, our distribution partner in South America. Next slide. Next slide. So today, I'm going to be speaking with you about our FlexPack product. This is our solution for color accurate package and proofing and prototyping. Next slide. But before we begin talking about FlexPack, I'd like to first talk to you about trends in the packaging industry as they relate globally, as well as within South America. Here on the left-hand side, we can see a total size and projection of the packaging market globally from the years 2017 through 2023. And one of the things of great interest is that this highlights tremendous growth within the packaging industry over the course of these years. On the graph on the right-hand side, we offer a view or breakdown of the market sizes as they relate to the individual countries within South America specifically. So as you can tell, there is a great deal of growth within the packaging market and specifically a good deal of growth within South America as well. Next slide, please. Please click through. So let's talk about what role prototypes play in the development of packaging. We find this to be of specific importance within the packaging industry. Of course, consumer perception, how a package should look, how a package design should look, plays of great importance and is very important in the role of packaging. This is a common reason why many printers or packaging printers sometimes use traditional printing presses for creating samples or prototypes and mock-ups. So let's talk a little bit about the challenges or some of the issues companies face when doing this. Unfortunately, producing a prototype on a traditional flexo or offset or litho press is extremely expensive. And more importantly, it takes a long time in order to produce these types of samples. And one of the challenges as well is that your regular production or your normal production that you're producing on your presses is always going to take a priority over producing a sample or a one-off sample for a potential client. But ultimately, creating these types of samples digitally can create new opportunities. Next slide, please. So that's really where CGS Oris's FlexPack solution comes in. Again, this solution is sold and provided by Antalis in South America. FlexPack is a digital solution that enables you to create samples and prototypes of high-end rigid and flexible packaging products while simulating the finishes of offset, flexo, and litho printing devices. Next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit about what the FlexPack system consists of. On the left-hand side, you can see we have our FlexPack software. This is typically running on a Windows PC computer. And that is in turn driving or connecting to an Epson S8600 EcoSolvent inkjet device and used in conjunction with a couple of different hardware solutions, a laminator, and in some cases, a secondary UV inkjet device. We then combine the output coming off of the Epson device through the FlexPack software with the use of specific inks, inkjet inks, and specific medias or materials for different types of packaging applications. One of the things that's unique about this type of inkjet device is that it offers the end user a white ink, which is obviously extremely important for producing packaging samples and mock-ups and prototypes. Next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit first about how we create a color accurate sample, or how we color manage the Epson inkjet device to ensure that both your CMYK color as well as your spot colors are going to be accurate. One of the things that is unique to our FlexPack product is its ability to iteratively calculate or color manage the CMYK color space that or printing condition you're going to print to. So on the left-hand side here, we're showing you the raw color gamut of the Epson S8600 printer in comparison to the black skeleton inside of it on the left-hand side, which represents a Grackle 2013 CMYK profile. And our software on the right-hand side, where you see the arrows, is how the software is going to recalculate the color to bring the CMYK components that would be printed on the Epson within very tight tolerance and specification to a Grackle profile. Next slide. Here we take another look with a side angle of the color space, and this gives you the ability to see, again, the overall color space of the Epson device in comparison to the target that we're trying to match to on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, you can see how the software uses color measurement and iterative calculations to accurately color manage that device to a Grackle 2013 profile. Next slide, please. And again, our software uses a patented iterative calculation for achieving this process, enabling really anyone to be a color expert and making this process of matching color very, very simple. Next slide. In addition to matching CMYK color in FlexPack, of course, matching spot colors accurately is extremely important, of course, in the packaging industry. So for spot colors, FlexPack licenses all of the Pantone libraries directly within the software. So that's something that you receive with the software itself. And our software then can accurately optimize spot colors that are printed in your jobs or samples or prototypes that you're looking to make, and ensure that those spot colors are going to be matched very accurately. Next slide. Also available within FlexPack is a visual correction tool. So in some cases, an end user might want to optically match a spot color to a specific definition. So within our software, we offer a number of different tools for accurately matching spot colors. One of those is a unique color beehive seen on the bottom right-hand corner of this slide that allows us to do that type of optical match to a spot color definition. And lastly, as another level of spot color support, FlexPack enables the use of CXF color libraries. So for any packaging printers that might be using this type of color definition for matching specific spot colors or special colors, the FlexPack software can utilize those definitions directly inside of it and accurately match spot colors that are used in different types of packaging samples and packaging proofs that you may be looking to create with the FlexPack system. Next. So let's now talk about some different benefits, really, of producing digital prototypes. One benefit, of course, is it enables you as a packaging printer to produce these types of samples confidentially. You're not having to use an outside source or outside maybe packaging design studio to produce these samples for you. More importantly, you're able to create more prototypes than you ever were before. And this really enables you to modify or create different designs and do changes to designs at a reasonable cost very quickly. Another benefit is it's a low-cost solution. So rather than producing a sample or prototype on your physical flexo or offset press, we enable you to take that type of sample off of your printing presses and produce those digitally via inkjet. And lastly, it's an easy-to-use in-house solution, again, ensuring confidentiality of any of the packaging projects you may be working on in-house. So now I'd like to talk about a number of different slides where we can show you different physical types of samples that can be created with FlexPack to give you an opportunity to see all the different types of prototypes and samples that can be created. In this case, we're using the Epson printer with a laminator to print on CGS-Oris transfer film. And this is actually being done for producing cards for basketball cards or baseball cards, and what have you. So in this case, the transfer film is being imaged, and that transfer film is then being laminated directly onto a holographic foil press stock, and even onto a basketball. Next slide, please. In this example, we're actually printing on the Epson device directly to a pre-coated board stock. That's what's creating the carton samples you see on the left-hand side. And then we're also showing here samples of printing on a metallic foil for creating a candy bar sample and an aluminum foil for the coffee bag samples you see pictured on the right-hand side. Next slide. In this case, we're showing you printing on a CGS-Oris film for producing different types of labels. Those can be seen, this is a clear adhesive film that can be seen on the Absolute Vodka samples on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, we're again showing a transfer film process where we image on a transfer film that runs in the Epson, color managed by FlexPack. And that transfer film is then in turn laminated directly onto press substrates. Next. In these samples, these are relatively unique. We're enabling the ability to print directly on CGS-Oris silver, white, and clear pouch films. These are heat sealable, so you can create very realistic samples for producing different types of candy bars or chip bags and things of that nature. And then we also can utilize transfer film to print directly onto label stocks, as you see on the Diet Coca-Cola bottle on the bottom right-hand side. Next. We also have the ability to print on shrink film materials. So for any packaging printers that have shrink film applications, on the two bottles on the bottom left-hand side, we're actually imaging directly onto a shrink film substrate. And that shrink film is then being heat shrunken onto the bottles. And then on the two samples on the bottom right-hand side, we're printing on a transfer film and laminating with a very low heat onto flexible press substrates. Here we give you a look at some different labeling options. So again, here we're actually printing on a transfer film, and that image transfer film is in turn laminated onto label materials for different types of spirit bottles, whether that's vodka or rum, whiskeys, and also onto for beer labels. Next, please. Here we're showing a sample of our pre-coated glossy material for the chocolate bar that you see on the bottom left-hand side. And then the two samples on the right-hand side are utilizing CGS Oris's white pouch film and our clear pouch film for the nuts and the candy samples that you see here. Again, these are both heat sealable, so you can create a very, very realistic sample of the end package that you're looking to create, and you can even fill that with the materials that would typically go inside of the end produced product. Here we're showing again the use of CGS Oris transfer film on the being used on the bottom right-hand side perfume bottle, and also the same application on the coffee bag on the left-hand side. And then lastly, again, the use of our shrink film on the smoothie bottle that's located in the center of this slide. Next. So beyond just imaging on all of these types of medias, one of the things that makes the FlexPack solution very unique in comparison to other products in the market is our ability to also produce spot varnishes, both gloss and matte, as well as produce embossing effects. So you can create a tactile feel on top of your package. And as we see package design become more and more intricate and more complex, we're finding a lot of packaging printers, packaging design agencies are really looking to reproduce these unique types of effects on their prototypes and samples. So what you see here is the use of our CGS Oris transfer film that is laminated directly onto press substrate. After that lamination is done, a secondary UV device is used to image the spot varnish separation and emboss separation to create a either a high gloss or matte spot varnish and the embossing effects you're looking to see. Next. Here again, we show some more varnish and emboss effects. In this case, we're showing some emboss enhancements that have been applied to these two samples. So again, we're imaging on CGS Oris transfer film on the Epson device. That's laminating directly onto different types of press substrates. From there, it goes into the UV device, and we then use the clear ink in that UV device to create the emboss enhancements you're seeing in these samples. Next, please. Here again, another application of varnish and emboss being used on some Budweiser labels, and then also on some different chocolate and liquor packages. Next. Another unique capability of FlexPack, beyond doing a varnish and emboss type of sample, we can also apply cold foil effects. So we have a cold foil enhancement feature to FlexPack that enables an end user to use the actual cold foil you would use on press in our sampling and prototyping process. So here you see the application of a cold foil on top of the image transfer film for a chocolate box that's being produced. Next. Next, please. Here we show our CGS or transfer film being applied to the bottom left-hand photo, and then the KERS cold foil material being applied on top of that leaf that you can see on the top image there. And that's after that has been imaged, it's peeled, that the cold foil is peeled off, and then that leaves the cold foil to be seen in the areas that you want to how you would image that on press. This is a really unique process. In order to show these types of samples, normally you would really have to go on press and produce these types of samples with cold foil on your traditional printing press. Next, please. And then lastly, here we show a cold foil application in conjunction with the emboss enhancement. So what's been done here is we actually image on transfer film. That transfer film is then laminated onto the press stock. We then image the cold foil separation, lay that cold foil down and peel it off. And then after the cold foil is applied, we bring that into a UV inkjet device, where we then image the emboss effects that are then applied on top of the cold foil. So that you get a very unique cold foil and emboss effect on this package design, which is being used for a high-end chocolate packaging box seen here. Next. So what I thought we'd walk you through now is a series of videos that can show different types of applications of FlexPak in the different market segments. So this first video is going to show you FlexPak prototypes and samples being made for the metal decoration market within packaging. So for our next video that we're going to show you, this is going to walk through how we would produce a carton using the FlexPak system and laminating transfer film directly onto the printing press substrate that you would be printing with. So this will give you a look at the individual processes that go into doing this type of sample. Okay, so the last video that we're going to show today is quite unique. It will show the FlexPack system being used for shrink film applications. So a completely different type of application. So here the video is going to walk you through how FlexPack would image on shrink film, and then how the different methods in which that shrink film could be applied to your packaging objects, whether those are bottles or different types of materials. Well, I hope you enjoyed the 3 videos that help walk you through and understand the different types of samples and things that can be created with the FlexPak system. Beyond FlexPak, CGSource produces or develops many different color management software solutions for profiling for standard proofers, like on Epson devices. We have products for extended gamut profiling. So if a packaging printer were looking to do 7-color process printing on press, we have color management solutions for those types of applications. And we also have products that help printers trend and monitor color as well. So we have some interesting quality control and certification tools. So when you think about CGSource, really think about color management. Also think about our partners in South America, Antalis. They'd be happy to help you to learn about any of the different products we do provide in the printing industry. But more specifically today, the FlexPak solution. Next slide, please. So with that, I'd open it up to any questions that you might have. Again, my name is David Palmieri. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for CGSource Americas, located in Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Our company's development headquarters are in Hainburg, Germany, just outside of Frankfurt. And we have an office in Tokyo, Japan, as well as Hong Kong, China. And again, we're here with our partners today, Antalis. I believe I had a question from Jose Chavez asking if we resell to the final user and if we were potentially looking for any partners or dealers to offer these products. We do have a number of partners in different geographies in the world. In many areas of South America specifically, we do have strong partner relationships with companies like Antalis. Depending on where you may be located in the world, if we did not have an existing partner that we were reselling our products through, we may be interested in talking with you further. Well, I don't believe there's any other questions at this time. I'd like to thank everybody for their time and joining this presentation today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the virtual show. Thank you.